What's going on, guys? Killer6, and today I have a special treat for you all, courtesy of Gearbox software and 2K games. This is Moze the Gunner's skill tree. Now, before I begin, this is just her skill tree. No footage, no gameplay. If you want to see gameplay on Moze, I highly recommend that you follow me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/killer6. Link down in the description below, because I will be at E3 this week, and they've already said that she will be the featured gameplay there. So I am super duper looking forward to that. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the skill tree and talk about some of the perks. So up first, you got the Demolition Woman tree. In this one, you get a V35 grenade launcher, which is a semi-automatic grenade launcher, and its grenades are not affected by Moze's equipped grenade mod. Up next, you got the Shield of Retribution tree, and on this one, you get a railgun at the top. The cool thing about this is you can equip a railgun on one arm and say the V35 on the other, or the next tree that we're gonna look at here in a second. You can equip those on separate arms if you want, or you can equip the same thing on both arms. So the railgun fires electrified high velocity projectiles that deal shock damage. It's like a bullet, only bigger and faster and wrapped in lightning. I like that. Up next, we've got minigun. The minigun is capable of sustained rapid fire. Firing for long periods causes the minigun to overheat, rendering it inoperable for a few seconds. And like I said, you can equip a minigun on one arm, a V35 on the other, or two of the freaking railguns. I mean, you know, go crazy with it, guys. You got lots of options now. You got lots of options. All right, first up is Bottomless Mag's tree. You've got Cloud of Lead. Occasionally, Moze's and Iron Bear's shots will deal additional fire damage and won't consume ammo. Bonus fire damage 2.25%, and this stacks up to 5 times. It looks like there's 5 skill points available to you here. Up next is Dacha Bear. Adds a man turret to the back of Iron Bear. Fasten your seatbelt. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. This one sounds like fun. I'm guessing teammates jump on your back, right into battle. Matched set. Moze's currently equipped weapon gains a stacking bonus to magazine size and decreased heat per shot for every piece of equipped gear that has a matching manufacturer. So kind of like Jack's ability in the pre-sequel where you match all the stuff up. Up next is Scrappy. Increases Moze's handling. While moving, Moze's weapon swap and mode switch speed are increased. Right here we got our first augmentation to the skill tree, Salamander. The Salamander is a flamethrower that deals fire damage to enemies at close range. Though the Salamander has infinite ammo, it drains fuel with use. Coming up next is Redistribution. This is a single point skill. After Moze scores a critical hit, she regenerates ammo for a few seconds. Looks like 5% magazine ammo regeneration. Stoke the Embers. Increases Moze and Iron Bear's fire damage. Fire damage plus 10%. Our second augmentation let off some steam. Minigun deals more damage as heat increases and can be fired for longer before overheating. Damage up to plus 80% on this bad boy. Minigun heat capacity 35%. General Winter, another augmentation. For this one, you got minigun fires cryo rounds, which reduce heat gain and fuel drain, but deal reduced damage. Fuel drain minus 40%, minigun damage minus 30%, cryo efficiency plus 20%. So if you want everything to freeze, use that. Up next, Russian Offensive. Moze can sprint and shoot at the same time. Dope as hell. How would you not want that for just a single point? Running and gunning. Want it now. Up next, Scorching Rpms. Moze gains increased fire rate and critical hit damage. Of course I want that. 5 points. You can put 5 points into that bad boy. I'll be stacking that one all the way to 5. Up next, you got Fuel Economy, another augmentation to her skills. Reduces Salamander's fuel drain. Additionally, Iron Bear's movement speed is increased after damaging an enemy with Salamander. Fuel drain minus 25%, movement speed plus 25% for 3 seconds. Chemical Warfare, another augmentation. Salamander now deals corrosive damage. Additionally, Salamander's melt damage is increased by 50%. Specialist Bear, this is a single point skill. Equipping 2 of the same weapons on Iron Bear increases the damage they deal. So basically, gun zerking for your mech. Very nice, I like it. Up next, the Iron Bank. And for this one, you can stack 5 points into it. It increases your magazine size, so you can get a pretty good mag size out of this thing. Another augmentation, Exploding period bullets period. Minigun fires explosive rounds that deal increased splash damage, but its fire rate is decreased. The fire rate is decreased tremendously, 75%, but damage. Some for the road. For this one, it's a single point skill. Moze gains infinite ammo for a few seconds after exiting Iron Bear. That plus a rocket launcher? Dude. Now we got Click Click. Moze gains increased gun damage as her magazine empties. The less ammo there is remaining, the greater the increase. So is she the gunzerker of this freaking game? She's got some cool skills, man. Up next, another augmentation, Molten Roar. The Salamander burst fires 3 projectiles with increased fuel drain, the first of which leaves a large fire area. Fuel drain plus 25%, but that huge fire area could be pretty powerful for mobbing. Finally, the capstone is Forge. Moze constantly regenerates ammo for her currently equipped weapon. Ammo regeneration is 1.5% of magazine per second. So she's definitely the gunzerker of this game. I don't care what anybody says. Somehow, someway, she's the gunzerker of this game. Up next, you've got Fire in the Skag Den in the Demolition Woman tree. Whenever Moze deals splash damage, she deals additional fire damage. Deadlines. Firing Iron Bear weapons drains less fuel. Killing an enemy while Iron Bear is active increases fuel. The skill has diminishing returns. Fuel returned up to 2%. Fuel drain minus 10%. Grizzled. Kill skill. Killing an enemy reduces Moze's remaining action skill cooldown time. This skill has diminishing returns as well. Our first augmentation in this tree is Vanquisher Rocket Pad. The Vanquisher Rocket Pad is a rocket launcher capable of rapid firing volleys of unguided explosive rockets. If you want guidance, get a Sherpa. If you want explosions, get Vladoff. That's an interesting phrase. Seems like that should say Torg at the end of it. Stainless Steel Bear, 5 points available in this one. Iron Bear gains additional armor and increased maximum fuel. Maximum fuel plus 4%. Iron Bear armor plus 6%. This is a 5-point skill again. Torg Cross Promotion. All splash damage dealt by Moze has a chance to double in size. Torg would be so proud. Means of Destruction, a 3-point skill. Whenever Moze deals splash damage, there is a chance to add ammo to her currently equipped weapon's magazine size, with a smaller chance to return a grenade. I'm telling you, she is the gunzerker of this freaking game. Shape Charge is another augmentation. Direct hits with the V35 deal increased damage. Direct hit damage plus 35%, so accuracy helps tremendously with this damage. Another augmentation, Musical Chairs. Occasionally the V35 fires a singularity grenade that pulls in nearby enemies before exploding. Singularity every 7th grenade. Pull the Holy Pin, a nice Monty Python reference. Moze's grenades have a chance to score a critical hit, dealing greatly increased damage. Critical hit damage is plus 10%. You can stack this one 3 times. Auto Bear. After Moze exits Iron Bear, it will remain deployed in place for a short time. While Auto Bear remains active, it will target and attack nearby enemies until its duration ends. Then it will charge an enemy and self-destruct. Really cool. Active Tracking. The Vanquisher Rocket Pad now fires homing rockets that has an increased reload speed. Hold down the fire button to aim at enemies to designate up to 6 targets. Target Softening. The Vanquisher Rocket Pad deals greatly reduced damage per rocket, but fires in a 6-rocket spread. Additionally, enemies hit by the Vanquisher Rocket take increased damage from all sources. Why can't I carry all these grenades? A 3-point skill increases Moze's grenade carrying capacity. You combine this with that critical hit damage grenade. Ho 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 ho! Gonna be fun. Up next, you got Vampeer. Whenever Moze damages an enemy with a grenade, for every enemy hit, she restores a portion of her missing health. So it's like using the fastball with the Grognals on Borderlands 2. You get constant healing with that. Locked in speed load, the reload speed is greatly increased and now fires a 5-round burst on the V35. To the last, a 1-point skill. Moze gains the ability to throw grenades while and fight for your life. If she threw a grenade before gaining a second win, a grenade is refunded. So she is like Salvador crossed with Axton. Explosive Punctuation. 5-point skill. When Moze deals splash damage, her action skill cooldown rate is briefly increased. Hammer Down Protocol. Instead of a volley of conventional rockets, the Vanquisher Rocket Pad launches a single rocket with a nuclear warhead dealing massive radiation damage. Holy crap. And finally, the capstone, Short Fuse. Whenever Moze deals gun damage, there is a chance of a secondary explosion centered on the target. Secondary explosion chance 20%. Secondary explosive damage, 75% of gun damage. So when you deal gun damage, there's a chance of a secondary explosion centered on. So if you're doing, wow, okay. Holy crap, this chick is going to put out some damage, guys. This is your Salvador of this game so far, it looks like. Looks like this is the one who can deal massive damage. Just be aware of that. Alright, moving on to the Shield of Retribution tree, Selfless Vengeance. Whenever Moze reloads, she loses a small portion of her health and grants additional fire damage to her and her allies' rounds for a few seconds. Ooh, helping your teammates do some fire damage, I like it. Security Bear. Iron Bear gains a bubble shield that reduces damage taken. The shield deactivates if it sustains too much damage, reactivating after a short cooldown. While Moze's shields are active, she gains gun damage reduction and increased gun damage. So the gun damage plus 3%, damage reduction plus 2%, that stacks up to 5 times. So making her a lot tougher with this tree right here. A lot of safety perks apparently in the Shield of Retribution tree. Bear Fist. The Bear Fist is a pneumatic driven fist that deals massive damage to a single target at close range. Vladov supports the right to bear armored bear arms. That's crazy. A pneumatic fist that deals massive damage. Wow. Vladov Ingenuity. You got 5 points in this one. Moze's maximum shield is increased and she gains resistance to shock damage. So you can get her shield up to, like, it looks like plus 30%. Thin red line, a portion of Moze's health is removed and cannot be restored, but her maximum shield is increased by the same amount. That could be really good if health gate is still a thing in this game. Drowning and Brass. Kill skill. Killing an enemy grants Moze a stack of Drowning and Brass. For each stack of Drowning and Brass, Moze's fire rate is reduced, but gun damage is increased for both her and her allies. So your allies' gun damage is increased, but their fire rate doesn't get nerfed. Hail on Rails, another augmentation. Railgun now fires superheated rounds that deal fire damage but have increased fuel drain per shot. Fuel drains plus 30%, converts to fire damage. Next augmentation is Capacitive Armature. That's a mouthful right there. When Railgun hits an enemy, it chains to nearby enemies, dealing reduced shock damage to more targets. Full Can of Whoop-Ass. Single point skill. Entering Iron Bear causes Moze and her allies' shields to immediately begin recharging at an increased shield recharge rate. Looks like 25% on that. Another single point skill, Experimental Munitions. Whenever Moze scores a critical hit, she deals bonus fire damage, and that's another 10% on that. Next augmentation is Wild Swing. Whenever Bear Fist hits an enemy, it deals random bonus elemental damage to that enemy and all enemies nearby. 35% of damage dealt, but it's a random bonus. Interesting. Close the Distance, another augmentation. Instead of punching, Bear Fist now launches its fist and grabs enemies at a greatly increased range, pulling them back to Iron Bear. Get over here. That's all I can say. Desperate Measures. Moze's gun damage is increased depending on how low her health is. The lower her health, the greater the increase. Behind the Iron Curtain, another 3-point skill. Moze's shield recharge delay is reduced and her shield recharge rate is increased. Another augmentation, Corrosive Sabot Round. Railgun now fires a specialty round that deals reduced damage and explodes after a short delay. Railgun shots have a reduced fuel drain and magazine size is increased. Phalanx Doctrine. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, Moze gains a stack of Phalanx Doctrine. For every stack of Phalanx Doctrine, she gets maximum shield and gun damage increased. So lasts 30 seconds. Force Feedback, a single point skill. Whenever Moze scores a critical hit, her shields immediately begin to recharge. Just click on their heads. Shock Hammer, another augmentation skill. Bear Fist is now capable of sustained rapid fire, punching as long as the fire button is held. Additionally, Bear Fist has reduced fuel drain and deals bonus shock damage with each hit. And finally, the capstone of this tree is Tenacious Defense. Whenever Moze's shield is fully depleted, she instantly restores a portion of her shield and her gun damage is increased for a short time. This skill can only trigger after Moze's shields have fully recharged. You get 12% gun damage, you get 40% of max shields, and Tenacious Defense duration is 30 seconds. Very cool. So I hope you enjoyed this early look at Moze's skill tree. If you did, then please take a second to hit that like button, hit subscribe for more. Lots more Moze gameplay coming for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to E3, so I'm going to have some footage for you guys. You guys want to see some Moze in action, make sure you go down into the description, click on my Twitch link, and it'll take you right over to my Twitch channel. And just hit follow. It's completely free. It costs you nothing. And you can just come watch live while I play Moze at E3. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.